Good morning, Monique. First in today, huh? I know, all I can hear is that rain falling out there. Cold, we've got the heater on. Morning, Sue. Yeah, my lavender. I bought a lavender plant the other day and it was sitting just too close to the house, so it was just covered from the sprinkle we got the other day. So I've moved it and now I'm sure it's going love and life. Yes, beautiful for the gardens. Hopefully it'll keep the birds away from all my fruit flowers. My mandarin trees are just full of flowers. So is my orange, full of flowers, and my blueberries. So I've got to keep the birds out of the garden. Oh, we've got a number of people out there. Who else is out there right now? Sue and Monique. I seem to have an issue with my list this week. Let me just put Monique on my list. Why is she not there? There we go. There's been at least one or two people missing from my list all week. There we go. Good morning, Diane. Did you go for your walk this morning? Oh, I've got a hair that's just longer than it's meant to be. Morning, Marie. Good morning, Mary. It is a little chilly. Well, the heater's on, but I've had something covering the vent. So I've just moved it a little bit, just to let a bit of heat into this room, because it's stretch and tone today. So it's not gonna be too fast. It's gonna be a nice, slow class. So for those that need that little bit of extra support for your backs, make sure you've got your cushion with you, okay? No weights, no elastic, but a cushion if you have any issues in your back or hips. Good for indoor chores. Good morning, Hanny. Sounds like you're up for a fun day today. Good for indoor chores. That's what this weather is, Hanny says. Yeah. Good morning, Tony and Kath. How are you two? And Marie, I've already ticked her. Yes, well, like I said, we will warm up a little bit, but it's not going to be like super warming. It's more about stretching and toning up, okay? I know. You took your umbrella so it didn't rain. Yes, we're meant to have this big cold snap, aren't we? Back to winter, that's exactly what Kay just said, Melva. Yes, we are back to winter. Good morning to you both, Kay and Melva. Yeah, I do usually get around to netting them. Not at this stage though. I usually let them go for a little bit longer before I start netting things up, because I like to be able to get, I know the bees and stuff will get in, but I also find that you put nets up, of course then the birds can't eat and get in and eat those bugs. So I usually wait a little bit before I put nets up, because we like the birds to eat the bugs, like the little caterpillars, and I've seen some of those horrible white moths out there already. So I know they're going to be starting to lay their little eggs everywhere. So anyway, that's the life of having a veggie garden, isn't it? You got to be on top of everything constantly. Maybe I should get the kids to make a scarecrow. And I've got to finish, before I put the netting up as well, I've got to stain the back fence because I need to plant my sunflowers. And I can't do that until I've stained the back fence, because the veggie garden sort of almost sits up, it's about that far away from the back fence. So that gap there between the fence and the veggie garden, that's going to be covered in sunflowers. Should look pretty when it's finished and when they're 3 meters tall. Looking forward to that. What's everywhere in your veggie garden? The white moths? They're horrible little buggers. I go in, I'll look at the leaves, you know, clean up the leaves and stuff, but it's not something you can do every day. No, exactly right, Kay. It's a catch-22. You just keeps you busy, gives you something to do, I guess. Yeah, well, we've had we're baby butcher birds. They've moved on now. Actually, they weren't as violent as everyone says that they are. We didn't even know they were having babies until they were grown up. Good morning, Lynn. Anyway, it's all fun and games. It's all a challenge. Keeps me busy. I enjoy being out in that veggie garden. Just funny because I've never, ever, ever liked being out in the garden, like gardening. It's never been a fan. I've never been a fan of it. But now, must be changing. Good morning, Deb. Changing as I get older. I just got a text message from a couple who did the HIIT class. They didn't do it with us live last night. They've just done it this morning, but they will be warm. That was good fun. I really enjoyed that class last night. Yeah, I wonder how Maureen's going today. Lynn. I was going to tick Chris and Dawn, but no. So, Deb, Louise and Donna. Louise will probably do it later. So we just wait for Donna to catch up and then I guess we can get going. And Amanda, that's right, Amanda. Good morning, Amanda. You're not on my list because I sent you a thing this morning. But there we go, now you're on my list. Yeah, so HIIT was a success for last night. If you want to give it a go next week, feel free. It's, we go a little bit fast with some exercises. So we did some squats, okay? We did squats and instead of just doing squats with weights like we usually would, we were actually swinging our arms with the squats. And just by swinging the arms gets the heart rate up. If you've done a seated class before, you would be aware of that. We did some lunges again with the swinging arms, side stepping with swinging arms. And that was to get the heart rate up. And then we would have like a 30-second slow the heart rate down and we would do something like rolling like a ball or a plank or, you know, something that we could do slowly to slow that heart rate down. And then off we'd go again for about 30 seconds and do something a little bit faster. And it was all in sets. It was good fun. It was completely adaptable, so we could simplify it for those that wanted to go advanced. For example, when they did squats, instead of just doing a normal squat with your arms, they could add a jump into it. I don't know how many did that. But it's a way of making it a little bit harder for you. So, you know, there's all different modifications for that too. And then down on the tummy, you do like your bike movement. We did that and got the heart rate up a little bit with that one. And then we'd do some bridges to slow down. Good fun. Got to sweat up though, that is for sure. And that's what this couple was just saying. Bit of a sweat. So they're warm. So guys, you guys, I suppose, want to warm up now as well. Donna, are you out there, my dear? Did I miss a message from you? No. And I don't believe there's one on here either. No? All right. Well, hopefully you'll turn up. If you're going to do it a bit later, Donna, then, and Louise, enjoy. And Vicky, if you do decide to do this class, same for you. Just let me know how you feel afterwards. Okay, so what we are doing today is a stretch and tone class, okay? So it's all Pilates exercises. We're going to be stretching, lengthening the body, thinking about our core connection the whole time. So that means that when we do stretch, say the arms upwards, we don't want the rib cage popping forward. Popping forward is when you expand and open the chest, okay? So we've got to think about those the rib cage sitting here. We don't want it to open. So we've got to keep those core muscles connected the whole time, okay? And we'll do a few little breathing things as well down on the floor. We're gonna actually stay down on the floor, so come on down and join me, because we're not gonna stand up at all. So it's gonna be stretching those muscles out, lengthening the spine, lengthening the arms, lengthening your legs, because you probably need to do that, don't you, Tony? And Amanda, and there's a few of you, nice and tall already, Hanny. So we're just going to be lengthening those muscles and stretching, and we're going to be toning up gently as well. There she is. Good morning, Donna. That's okay. I'm just going through what we're doing today. Okay, so we are staying down on the floor, Donna. If you think that your back or your hips may play up a little bit, like, you know, if you do usually have a few issues with things like C-curves and stuff, please make sure you've got a cushion that you can sit on and use, not when you're lying down, but when you are sitting up, okay? Because there will be some sitting up stuff. In fact, if you like, you can sit on it now, because like I said, we're starting down here. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do to start with is just take those legs out in front of you like so. You can take them a little bit wider than your hips if you like. Lift up out of the hips, sitting nice and tall, okay? So that's what we already want to start to lengthen that spine. Pop your hands just on your legs like so. Now, if you are sitting on a cushion, make sure it's right underneath your bum. That lifts you just that little bit, adds a little bit of softness, a little bit of padding underneath you as well. That just sort of eases or makes it a little bit more gentle on your back, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, belly button back. Let's start by breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And again, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Now this time you're going to breathe in, you're going to feel the spine lengthen from the top of the neck. And when you breathe out, you're going to drop the chin to the chest, and you're going to slide your hands down the front of your legs all the way down to your feet. And as you do that, you roll forward, head down between the knees. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, you're going to slowly unroll yourself, lift out of those hips as you come to the top and sit up tall. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Let's do that again. Breathing in and deep breath out. Breathing in and breathing out. Lengthening the spine, shoulders down. Once more, breathing in, breathing out. Stretch those arms a little bit more now. See if you can get past your toes. And breathing out, sitting as tall as you can. Good, stretch the legs out. Breathing in, reaching towards the toes, breathing out, belly button back, and sit up as tall as you can. Slide the hands along the legs so that you've got somewhere to aim for. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in. Now, because we're breathing in as we come forward, you might find it a little bit harder to get really low with this, so that doesn't matter. I'm doing the breathing that way so that when you breathe out, you're gently drawing the belly button back, and it's going to be a natural movement, which is going to help you to sit up tall. Because the way I see it is that's more important, that we switch that core on. So breathe out as you come up. And we do that once more. And like I say, you don't have to get all the way down to your feet, but just see if you can get a little bit further each time. And sit up nice and tall. Good, let's bend those knees again. Socks fell off. I've got my feet a little wider. Take your arms out to the side now, shoulders down. We're gonna do a little twist to the right. Now don't go too far because we don't want to move that butt. Deep breath out and in. Deep breath out and in. Shoulders down, chest open. Watch this arm doesn't come across the body. And again, around and around. And back to the center. And arms down. Pop the hands back on the legs. Roll it down. Reach past your toes. And belly button back. Shoulders down, sit up tall. Deep breath out. Focus on how your body is moving. Where are the tight spots? What feels easier? And slowly down. How are you breathing? Can you feel that breath helping you stretch that little bit more? Now sit up tall. Stretch the legs out. And now we breathe in. And breathe out, sit up tall. And breathe in. And breathe out, sit up tall. And again, breathe in. And breathe out, sit up tall. Bend those knees out wide again, arms out to the side, shoulders down, a little twist. Still sitting tall, lifting out of the hips the whole time. And deep breath out. And in. And deep breath out. And in. And come back to the center. And take the arms down. Good. Now I want you to just bring the soles of the feet together. Now this position might be a little bit hard at this time of the day. Feeling a little bit stiff in those hips, so I want you to just sit as tall as you can. Hold on to your ankles. That'll help you sit up and keep the chest open. Breathe in, lift up through the spine. And breathe out. Drop the head and arch the back down towards your feet. Breathe in and breathe out, sitting up tall. So we are stretching into those hips. We're going to trick our body into it. Deep breath out as you roll down, coming down. You don't have to get your head on your feet. That's okay. And sit up nice and tall. Shoulders down. And again, down. Can you get a little further? This time, just push on those legs, those knees towards the floor a little. And deep breath out and sit up tall. Good, now swing your legs around to the side. Okay, you can do this up on your hand like so, or even on a fist if you like. The other option, which is a little easier on the shoulder, is to come down onto your elbow, okay? So I'm gonna do it down here, but you can do it up there if you like. Okay, knees are bent, feet are just behind me, knees are in front of me. I'm gonna take this arm and stretch over, and you can see my body weight changes, and I push towards my hips, and the arm is coming over as much as possible, so I'm stretching down the side of my body. And back up, breathing in, and out. Drop the head, relax the neck. Breathing in and out. Don't put too much pressure into that bottom shoulder, that supporting shoulder when you come over. Just gentle. Focus more on pushing up through the rib cage. And we'll go one more. Breathing in and out. And back up. Push yourself to sit up. Take the legs to the other side. Changing sides, coming down. Feet behind you, knees in front. Elbow under the shoulder. Belly, I'm trying to work out so you can see me square. There we go. Belly button back, deep breath in. And breathe out, push that rib cage to the ceiling. Try and look up or forward, not down, okay? And breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. And breathe in, excuse me while I put my belly away. And breathe out. And breathe in and deep breath out. Good, and coming up. All right, sitting up nice and tall. Bring those legs back around the front again. Gonna hold the legs and we're just gonna tilt the pelvis and sit up. Tilt the pelvis and sit up. Gentle. can feel that you can move through those hips a little better as you go along. And again, keep the shoulders relaxed. Good, let's go a little deeper now. Slide those hands down. Try not to grip those arms. We want the shoulders back with us. And lift, lengthen the spine. And again, breathe out. And in. And out. Lengthen the spine. And out. And in. Breathing out. And in. Good, one more. And lift. And hands behind you now, fingertips facing your bottom. Push those hands down, shoulders back. Look at the ceiling or as close to. There's a stretch in the front of the chest, so in front of the shoulders there, squeezing those shoulder blades together. If you can't get your hands completely flat on the floor, that's okay. You can do it on fists if it's too much. I want you to focus more on that opening of the chest and the arching of the spine here than worrying about a stretch through the wrists. Good, and back up, and we're gonna breathe out and roll forward, so we're arching the other way. And sit up, hands behind you. Now breathe out this way. And breathe in, and breathe out. And sit up. Good, the shoulders should feel like they're back a little bit more now. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor, so I'm just going to change direction. Roll yourself down onto the floor as slowly as you can. Hands down by your side. All right, let's start off with a few bridges to keep that spine moving. So feet a little closer to your bottom. Make sure your feet and knees, your knees are pointed to the ceiling and they're about hip distance apart. Take another breath in. Feel the rib cage expand when you do that breath in and the spine lengthen along the floor. And then when you breathe out, it's all about that belly button just sinking. Sink it, don't suck it, okay? So use that breath for it to sink. Hands on your belly button. Breathe in and breathe out. And one more, breathe in and breathe out. Hands by your side now, breathe in. Deep breath out, pelvic tilt, roll and lift those hips nice and high. Squeeze your bottom and breathe out, roll it down. Breathe in and deep breath out, rolling up. Squeeze and lift, breathe in and breathe out, roll it down. And again, roll it up. Feel that spine rolling along the floor. And again, roll it up. Open the hips. And one more. Rolling up. Open the hips. And roll down. Good. Take your right knee into your chest, then your left. So if you did have that cushion under your bum, make sure it's gone now. I forgot to mention that, but make sure that's not there. Okay, pull those knees right in, stretch out your right leg. Belly button sinks into the floor. Take it down a little. Feel the tummy muscles working. Make sure your back is not lifting. Keep hold of your left knee and change it over, pulling in. And lengthen the other leg. And bring the other one in and change. Breathing in and out. In and out. In and out. And in and out. Good, bring both knees in now. Take your hands down onto the floor. Take your left foot to the floor. Make sure that knee is bent. Take your right leg out to tabletop and extend it nice and low just off the floor and bring it back to tabletop. Now you've got to control where it stops. You've got to know it's going to stop here, not here, okay? So control, out 1, nice and long, and 2, nice and long. Belly button sinks and in. Deep breath out and in, out and in. 5 more. 5 and 4. It's about lengthening. And 3 and learning to control. Use the core, taking it back a notch from where you would usually be. And in. Take that foot down, changing legs. Tabletop and extend out nice and low but not on the floor, and in. Breathing out, sinking down, breathing in. Breathe out and in. 3 in. 4 in. 5, control it, don't let that knee creep in too close. 6. As you lengthen that leg, you can feel those muscles tightening in your legs. Stretch and stretch it. Strong leg. I don't know, is there 2 left? Maybe. Let's do 1 more just in case. And out. Bring it in and feet down. Bring the feet closer to the bottom. Deep breath in. Breathe out, pelvic tilt, roll up. Breathe in, long arms and down. Breathing out, roll. Deep breath out, rolling up. Keep those hips nice and high, long arms and down. So even though I'm not stretching up through my shoulders here, okay, I'm keeping the shoulders down, I'm still stretching the arm, and I am actually locking up that elbow for this, okay? So I'm stretching through the fingers, elbows, but when the arms come up, my shoulders don't, okay? We want to learn to keep the shoulders there. So I don't want you going tight, lift the shoulders to the ears. Can you see a difference? There and there. Oh, you can see it because you can see my top lifts. Okay, that's shoulders up, that's shoulders down, right? Let's go. Roll it up, hold. No shoulders, but long, strong arms and down. And roll it up, hold. Long, strong arms and down. 1 more, and up. Keep those hips high. And long arms and down. Good, okay. Bring those knees back into the chest. Stretch out that right leg, take it down a little lower, and this time we're going to bring our chin into our chest. Now, if it's going to hurt your neck at all, you can leave your head on the floor, and then we're going to change. And we're lengthening out that leg. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Lengthen the leg. Reach for the other side of the room with your foot. Come on, Tony, you can get there. And change. Pull that other one as close to your body as you can. Use your breath to get that stretch. And again. And relax the head down, bring both knees in. Good, okay. Feet back down to the floor. Let's take those legs to tabletop this time. If you need that little bit of extra support, roll up your mat and tuck it under your bum. Deep breath in through the nose. Now again, you can support your neck with your hands, okay? So any neck issues, do that. The other option is to leave your head on the floor. So you've got those options there. For those that don't have any or don't get tight in the neck, long arms and reach. Now I'm reaching from the shoulders. You see them draw away from my ears? Okay, long arms and curl up and lower back down. And long arms and in. Let's breathe. Out and in. Deep breath out and in. If it hurts the neck now, support it with your hands. I was going to add legs as well, but I thought I changed my mind. So you won't obviously be able to leave your head on the floor for this one. And breathe out and in. Use your breath. Out and in. Once more. Out and in. Good. Now with the hands flat on the floor, we'll leave our head down. We're going to stretch out that right leg. Now if you go too low, your back's going to want to lift off the floor. Find your height and bring it in. Let's take it up first. Belly button sinking into the floor. Deep breath out. Go as far as you can. If the back starts to lift, you stop. If it starts to get tight, you stop. Breathe in. Breathe out. And in. Breathe out. Find your point. Doesn't have to be as low as mine. And in. Breathe out. And in. Lengthen the leg. Breathing out. And in. Breathe out. And in. And again, out. And in. Last two. Out. Keep drawing down. Use that breath. Remember that tummy will naturally sink into the floor if you're breathing out all the way in. Hug the knees. Good. Take your feet back down to the floor. Stretch out those legs. Give them a shake. All right. Knees into your chest. Roll yourself up. Balance at the top. No, we're not finished. Good. And sit up tall. Arms out. Deep breath out. Roll it down. Go as slow as you can. Now breathe in. Long arms. Remember, no lifting the shoulders. And breathe out. Roll up. Sit up tall. Stretch the legs and reach. Hands are above the toes or above the legs. And pull up. Bend your knees. Deep breath out. And in. Deep breath out. And in. Stretch out. And in. Bend it up. And deep breath out. Now keep those hands just below the shoulder line when you're sitting up so that you don't get tempted to lift your shoulders. See where my hands are? They're not above shoulder line. Stretch. Reach for that wall and lift. And roll down. Use your tummy, use your spine. And back up. And lift. Reach. And up. And again, down. And back. And up. And reach. And up. Bend your knees and lower yourself back to the floor. Good, here we are again. Okay, we're gonna stretch out along the floor. We're gonna roll onto our side. Okay, I'm actually gonna get you to come up onto your elbow. We're gonna keep those legs, actually we're gonna bend the bottom one. Bend the bottom leg. Lift that rib cage. Make sure that supporting shoulder is back and make sure your hip is forward. Belly button to the spine. Let's take that arm and lengthen it towards the ceiling. That long leg at the top there is going to lift, not too high. 1, 2, pull up in the rib cage, 3, 4, belly button back, 5, 6, don't let that hip drop backwards, 7, 8, not too high either, and 10. Good, bring that knee in and push through the heel. Knee in and push through the heel. And in, keep that arm long. It helps to keep that rib cage lifted. And in, push out. And in, stretch it out. Take it down, relax the foot. And 1, 2, lifting, 3, shoulders back, 4, and 5. Stop if you need to, especially if that supporting shoulder is getting sore. 8, 9, and 10. And relax. Let's do that on the other side. Okay, so put your pants up. You're on your elbow, okay? You've got to make sure those shoulders are back. Lift that rib cage, because the minute you sit down here, that's when that shoulder's going to really feel it, okay? So you need to lift out of it the whole time. So that involves lifting that pelvic floor and staying connected. So lengthen out that top leg. Make sure that hip is stacked. You don't want it falling backwards, okay? That's when you'll feel it in your lower back. All right, reach with that hand up nice and long. Shoulders back. I look twisted, hang on. There we go. Does that look a bit straighter? And lift, 1 and 2. Reach through the hand, 3 and 4. Pulling up out of the shoulder, 6, 7, 8. Feel the butt working, 10. Knee to the chest. Flex the foot, stretch through the heel, make it long. And in and out. Belly button back the whole time. In, stretch, arms stretching still, 1 more, and reach, take it down, relax your foot, hip still forward, and 1, 2, pulling up out of that supporting shoulder, 4, 5, stop if you need to, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Roll onto your tummy. Onto your tummy. All right. Arms above the head. Chin to the chest. Deep breath in through the nose. Breathe out, opposite arm and leg, lengthen. And down. Breathe out, opposite arm and leg, lengthen. Breathe in as you come down. Breathe out. And in. Out. And in. Out. And in. Out. And in. Hips on the floor. Stretch the leg behind you, stretch the arm. Good, head down the whole time. Keep that forehead on the mat. Relax the neck. And reach. And down. Reach. And down. 1 more each side. And in. Breathe out. And in. Good, you can pop your hands underneath your forehead just to lift it a little. Keep your chin tucked though. Relax your shoulders. You're going to lengthen your right leg as you breathe out, and it's going to come just off the floor. And from there, we're going to take it out to the side and back in. Forward. There we go. Use the whole mat. Lengthen out, 1 and 2. Keep that leg really long, 3. Belly button gently drawing back, 1 more. And lower, lengthen the other leg. And 1, keep it long, 2. And 3, feel those muscles tightening as you lengthen. And 5, take it down, lengthen the other. And 1, 2,
3, 4, 5. Don't move the upper body. And again. 1 and 2. Breathing deeply. 3, 4, and 5. Let's do that once more on each side. Stretch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take it down. Stretch. And 1. Keep it long. Hips anchored. 3, 4, and 5. And relax your legs. Okay. Take your arms up above your head. Bend the elbows slightly. Bring the hands a little closer to your head. Chin is tucked. Belly button back. Lift your upper body off the floor. Now, if you want to, level 1 would be to just lift your chest as I've done now. Okay, chin tucked, just the chest, and lower down. Just the chest and lower down. To make that harder, more resistance would be to come up with the arms as well. There's a big difference. So whichever one is better for your neck and shoulders and your back. You're not uncurling, you're lifting your chest and down. Up and down. Now let's do that once more because I'm going to change it up a little bit. Good. So you've chosen which way you're going to do it, level 1 or level 2, completely up to you. Level 1, head stays on the floor, you push up, stretch the, let me leave the head on the, no, head comes off the floor, arms on the floor. Slide the arms along the floor and stretch them out and back and lower. So you leave your arms on the floor the whole time. Stretch and in and lower. Level 2, you come up, stretch, in and down. Lift, stretch the arms and back. Choose your position, change it halfway if you have to. Breathe out as you come up, breathe in and stretch and lower. Actually, we might breathe out and stretch. Breathe in, back and down. Breathe out, stretch. Breathe in and down. Breathe out, stretch. In and down. Breathe out, stretch. Breathe in and down. Good. Slip your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up and stretch back in a child's pose. Nice, long arms.
All right. Turn around. Sitting on your mat again. Sitting up nice and tall. Arms out in front of you. Shoulders down. Deep breath in through the nose. And breathe out, roll it down. Breathe in. And out. Stretch your legs out. Breathe in and reach. And lift. Bend the knees. And breathe out. And in. And out. And in. Breathe out. And in. And out. And in. Out. And lift. And reach. Can you get any further now with that reach? Can you get past your toes? And back. And up. And reach. And lift. And roll down. Good. Here we are again. Back down on the floor. Hands by your side. Pelvic tilt. Lift those hips, strong long arms, and down.
and roll up, and long arms, arms down, and roll down. And one more, hold, strong arms, and take it down. Good, lengthen out, arms above the head, and roll onto your side again. Come up. All right, bend that bottom leg, lift that rib cage, shoulders back. Now, if your shoulders had enough, please lie yourself right down for normal side lying that we usually do, okay? Let me pull my pants up so I don't show my belly again. All right, lift that leg, stretch to the ceiling, and circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Don't sink into the shoulder, and up. Backwards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Good. From here, I'm just going to scoot back along my mat. I'm actually going to get you to roll onto your tummy with your elbows underneath your shoulders, hands flat on the floor, and squeeze back. Now come down, look at between your wrists, shoulders back, belly button back, squeeze your bum and lift your hips. Now if you want to come up into a full plank, you can, otherwise just stay where you are. If there's any pressure in your lower back, it means that butt needs to go higher, so lift it. Lift it till there is nothing going on in that back. Good, feel the tummy working. Yes, that upper body's working again. And gently lower and stretch. Good, and from there, I'm just gonna get you to turn away from me. Bend your bottom leg. Get ready to do those leg circles we just did on the side before. So lift your rib cage, elbow under the shoulder, shoulders back. Stretch that arm towards the ceiling, lift the foot, belly button back and circle forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep pulling up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down. Keep that leg long. Stretch the arm, shoulders back, lift. Now backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Control. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, lower down, come back to the center again. Stretch back, hands flat on the floor, elbows under the shoulders. Squeeze your bum and squeeze your lower back. Good, look down between your wrists. Remember, you've got to lift that butt up past where your back is going to be working. And pull up, hold it, belly button back. Keep breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth, shoulders away from the ears, belly button back, feel the tummy working. Good, gently lower those hips to the floor, squeeze and stretch. Good, hands underneath the shoulders, push up and stretch back. Good, I want you to walk those hands away from you, keep your butt back as far as you can and stretch those arms out even longer. Look at your toes so your head is resting on the mat. And release. Good, sitting up. Back to where we were at the beginning. Feet a little wider. For those that need a cushion under their butts, make sure it's there. Sit up nice and tall, belly button back. Did you warm up a little bit? Hopefully. Breathing in through the nose. Deep breath out. Reach. Can you get past your toes straight away? And breathe out. Sit up tall. Hands behind your bottom and squeeze back. Look at the ceiling if you can. Relax your neck. Don't strain it. Just let the head hang. And when you come up, don't bring the head in until you've started to sit up. So then you don't have that gravity that you've got to pull against. If you're right back here and you try and pull your head in, you're going to really strain those muscles against gravity. So instead, let's push up with our arms And then when we're above, when we're straight up and down, there's less gravity there to pull your head back. Does that make sense? I hope so. Deep breath out. In. And out. And in. Out. Open the chest. In as you start to sit. And breathe out. Roll it down. Relax your neck here. You should be looking at your belly button. And breathe out. And in, last one. Back, open the chest. And in. And we'll just come forward once more to release out of that. And lift. Good, stretch those legs out and push forward. Hold the stretch now. Down the back of the legs, through the back, into the neck, drop your head. Deep breath out, sink lower. Good, and sit up tall. All right, bend those knees, come down onto your elbow, belly button back, and over, hold. Push that rib cage towards the ceiling, towards the ceiling. And release. And again, breathe it out. Long arms, stretch it. And in. Change sides. Swing it around gracefully, gracefully. And over. And release. And breathe out. Long arm. And breathe in. Sit up again. Now bring the soles of the feet together. What happens now with your hips? Deep breath out. And in, release it all the way. Deep breath out. Slowly. Breathe in. Deep breath out. Drop your head. Breathe in, look forward. Once more, breathe out. Can you get a little deeper? Is it getting easier through those hips? It would if we could go long enough. Right leg across the body. Sit up tall, breathe it in. Breathe out and twist. Get around as far as you can. Deep breath out, release. Let's go again, same side. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out, come back around. Change legs now. So we're doing it with our breath. We're gonna breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out, release. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And deep breath out. Good work. Shake it out. We're going to come up onto our knees now. So right foot forward. I just want you to tuck that bum under and really open up that hip. So your core's all switched on. The week has been stressed and stretched away from you. All that stuff that's been going on, everything that's going on in your head. And now you're ready to just have a relaxing weekend. Focus on all the good stuff that's happened, including this class, including that stress, stretch, stress, stretch. It's hard to say, I won't say it too many times, I'll get twisted up. Good, and release. Let's come into our crouch position. We will finish standing up. And then I'll get you to sit down again and come and talk to me. Chin on the chest. Okay, I want you to relax that neck. Push your bum to the ceiling. Hang, take a breath in, breathe out, relax those arms and heads. And now roll up to the top, nice and slow. And stand up tall.
Good. Deep breath in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Deep breath out. And again, in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. I forgot a step. Breathe out. Well done. Good work, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Good work. All right, so let me know how you're feeling, please. Let me know. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Was it too slow? Was it too fast? Too much breathing? Did it make you feel dizzy? How are you feeling? I don't need to only know the good stuff. If there's something that you think should be a little bit different, please let me know, okay? It doesn't all have to be my way. I would like to have feedback from you guys so that I can adjust it to suit you. Was it something that was too hard? Was it just too easy? Remembering that it was all about lengthening, stretching out, and we did do some toning too. All right, I'll leave you to do the talking now while I put my credits on, like so. There we go. And Louise, it's only Louise, isn't it? Yep, you're doing this class later. Let me know how you go as well. What did you like out of it? What didn't you like? Loose as a goose. Oh, that's Bob's little saying that he gives me, Sue. Good. I'm glad you're feeling all stretched out and loose. That's what we want. Relaxed. It's all about just releasing everything that's been going on. Releasing, relaxing. The slowing it down and the breathing will help you focus on you. When was the last time you really stopped and only focused on you for an hour or 45 minutes? Same to you, Melva. See you later. Oh, you stole it from Bob, did you? Awesome, Donna. Thanks for coming. I'll see you Monday. Well, you'll see me Monday. Oh, thank you, Marie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Awesome, Lynn. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone. How you going, Amanda? Hanny, are you going to talk to me after class today? Oh, awesome, Kay. Good, Amanda. Have a good weekend, you too. Thank you, Monique. Have a good weekend. See you soon. Kath and Tony, how you guys feeling out there? Feeling good? Can you hear all that rowdiness that's going on out there? They'll just stand outside the door and have a chatter. Hello, hello. How we doing? How we feeling? You ready to enjoy your housework, your indoor chores for the day, Hanny? How you doing, Di? Did you enjoy that? Is everyone like so stretched out and so loose as a goose that they can't get up? Oh, good, Di. Yeah, I'm feeling toasty now. Just getting that circulation flowing again, it helps. Get the joints moving and all that. Good work. Thanks, Amanda. You too. Well, you know, that's exactly what I thought as well. It's that Kath and Tony. It comes down to flexibility, and it is a great way to improve your flexibility because you do need to have a certain amount of movement to be able to keep functioning effectively. So I think it's a really good class, and it's something that I would like to keep, actually, to be honest. You'll get there, Mary. Like I was just saying then with what Tony and Kath said. Our flexibility will improve slowly. It's just a case of certain movements. I don't expect you to be able to get as far as maybe I can with some movements. There's some things that I really struggle with too. We all have our thing. Yes, enjoy your week off, Mary. So keep it up, people. Take care of yourselves. Is there anyone I haven't spoken to yet? Hanny, did you respond to me? No. Hanny. Can only say your name 3 times. This is the way it sounds, right? And Deb. Great way to finish the week, huh, Deb? Feeling good? Take it easy, my dear. See you, Mary. I think that's pretty much everyone. I don't think I've missed anyone, except for Hanny. Hanny always does a runner. Louise, enjoy your class. Okay, everyone, well, I'm going to head off then. And if you've got anything else that you need to, if you want to change anything that you did this week and you've booked in for next week, if you want to change anything, let me know. Otherwise, your links will just come out on Sunday as per usual. Yeah, you'll be right, Mary. It's just process, one step at a time. Yeah. Do you know, it's actually easier for me to tell you how to breathe online than it is in class. I think because I have to do it. And if we're in class, I'll do a little bit and then I walk around. And so I don't have the time because I'm watching people and I'm moving people, changing people's positions. And there's all these other things that are going on. Whereas in this class, because I can't see you, I have to keep reminding you of everything. In some ways, I think it's better this way, like you're getting more than you would in class. So that's just what I think anyway. Yeah, take it easy there, Hanny. All right, well done to you all. Enjoy your weekend and I'll catch you all soon. And that's it. Take it easy.